Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. It is a Wednesday. It is the 26th day of February. Today is National Pistachio Day. You like pistachios?
I do like pistachios very much.
I do too. When I was a kid, my mom used to make like pistachio pudding.
Oh, yeah, I love pistachio pudding.
I haven't had that in years.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's also National Tell a Fairy Tale Day. You know any good fairy tales?
I know some.
Okay.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
That is not a fairy tale.
Oh.
But that is always the thing you tell when I say whatever it is. You say that same thing every time. It is also Ash Wednesday. All of these things happening today. And I have a guest. Got to click over here. I remember the name of the movie, but I got to see what his name. Oh, Joe Heslinga. There we go. See, I forgot that part. But he is the director and the co-writer and the co-producer of a documentary called Foosballers.
Foosballers.
I was watching this, and Heidi was giving me a bunch of guff. She's like, is that for real? But it is. It's a real thing. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to ask him. Foosballers, it's a cool thing, and they're doing really well. It's the #1 sports movie on the charts right now. Going to chat with him in just a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey by Riviera Travel found that adults over the age of 55 are happier than millennials. So they're saying that people over the age of 55 are happier than younger people.
Okay.
I wonder why that is.
I'm sure.
I think part
they
of it
don't
is
a lot of them over 55 aren't necessarily hooked on their technology.
Yeah,
and I think the technology is causing a lot of depression and
I think
anxiety.
that's part of it. And I also bet part of it is at that point they're probably in a position where their home is
a little
paid
more
for,
financially stable,
cars paid for, stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not like working just to pay
less
debt.
Stressful in general.
So, and I understand that's not everybody because like when we're 55, we'll probably still have debt.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But I do have a link to the study if you want to know all about it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. An alleged drunk driver in Florida initially declined a breathalyzer test, telling a deputy sheriff, "You didn't pull me over, I pulled you over." Wow.
I don't think that's going to work, dude.
63-year-old Juan Zamora gave a puzzling response after flashing his headlights at a Marion County Sheriff's deputy squad car in order to ask for directions to an auto parts store. The deputy stopped and said, "You been drinking today, sir?" He smelled the booze coming out of there. He admitted a 15-year-old passenger had also had bloodshot eyes, admitted to downing some shots of bourbon earlier in the day. When he finally took the breathalyzer test, he failed, registering above the .8 limit. Says authorities later found a bottle of whiskey in the car and a white substance. Field tests said it was cocaine.
A 15-year-old?
Charged with DUI
breaks my heart.
and cocaine possession. Here's the dumb thing. If you're driving with a bottle of booze and cocaine, why would you flash your lights at a policeman and pull him over? Hey, can you tell me if there's an auto parts store? I mean, that
clearly
wasn't smart.
thinking right.
No, that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jennifer Aniston posed pantsless on the latest issue of Interview magazine. Have you ever even heard of that magazine?
I have not.
I have not either. I got a feeling this is probably going to be the best-selling issue, though. Honestly, I could care less. But, yeah, I know there's a lot of folks out there that like Jen. I think she seems adorable, but I can't imagine why she's doing this. Why would she do that?
I'm sure you're not seeing anything.
Well,
She's
I
probably in a long
understand.
T-shirt or
Yeah,
something.
but whatever,
so-
you just don't. Macaulay Culkin told Esquire magazine that Michael Jackson never did anything to him, and he never saw him do anything to anyone else. So he's saying, I hear all this stuff that's being said. He never did that to me, and he was a kid at the time. So, and then J.J. Abrams is reportedly in negotiations with Lucasfilms to release a director's cut of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It was released to theaters in mid-December, has grossed over $1 billion. So they're saying, hey, now let's do a director's cut because, we need more than $1 billion. We need like $2 billion. So
Okay.
I don't know how much they need. But that's your big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoopa of the day comes your way, courtesy of FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. An 8-week-old Chihuahua has made an unlikely friend at a Rochester, New York animal shelter, a pigeon who cannot fly. Herman, who's been living at the shelter for over a year, was likely left flightless due to West Nile virus or maybe a brain injury, while Lundy, that's the 8-week-old Chihuahua, has been there just a short while, and he's unable to use his hind legs. Now, Lundy and Herman snuggle together and have become best friends. How cool is that?
That's very cool.
I could see like a children's book being written, and, a movie. Of course, you'd probably have to have, Tom Hanks play one of the characters. Maybe not. I don't know. But another story over here, Florida's Dr. Lucky Meisenheimer is a skin cancer surgeon and the owner of over 10,000 yo-yos. Some of his yo-yos are antiques, including a 1790s brass yo-yo from England. That's kind of cool. It's quite a collection. 10,000
sure
yo-yos. So there you go. The original King Kong from 1933 is coming back to theaters next month for the first time in nearly 65 years. It'll show on over 600 screens on Sunday, March 15th. That's kind of an interesting idea. Would you like to go see the original King Kong from 1933?
Probably not.
I'd kind of like to see
I've never been a King Kong. I mean, any of the new releases, anything.
Yeah.
It's just not my
Not your thing.
kind of film. No.
Researchers say social media makes breaking up harder than ever before since there are so many digital reminders of your ex. I could understand where that would happen.
I could see how.
And
that
then
would
you'd
happen.
also see your friends hanging out with your ex.
Yeah.
And you'd see your
or your friends liking or commenting on
in photos. You're like,
people's
oh, hey, there
things.
she is. And she's going
I
out.
could see that.
Yeah, I could see where that would be tough. So Heidi, you can't break up with me.
I wasn't planning.
Okay,
on it.
Whew, good. 20 years. I mean, just figured, now that we got this far, I thought you'd be done. Like that was like a benchmark or something. So.
No.
Also, Duke University study analyzed data from 20,000 online daters, found that women put a premium on income and height when deciding men to contact. For example, the study showed 5'9" man needs to make $30,000 more than a 5'10" man to be as successful in the
Really?
dating pool. Yeah, so saying if you're 5'9", you better be making a lot more dough, and if you're 5'10" or taller, it's like yeah, it's okay. I'm like he's okay.
What?
So I
How
don't know.
tall are you?
5'11". That's why I'm dead broke. And you still like me. So. How much did I make last year? Negative number. Wow, how did that happen? And our final thing, researchers found that ants are so tidy, then they can create restroom areas in their nests. That's how tidy ants are. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's really neat stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with our guest today. He's got a really fun movie that he just put out. It's Joe Heslinga, the director, the co-writer, and the co-producer of a documentary film by the name Foosballers. Now, Joe, this is pretty darn exciting because you guys were rated the #1 sports movie on the sports chart, and you're in the top 10 for all documentaries. So that's pretty darn good news, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool for a little foosball movie, you know?
Now, I had a chance to chat with you a little bit ahead of time, and I was asking, were you a big foosball player before doing the movie? And you said, no, not really, but you became kind of a little bit of a player. What was it that made you interested in doing this movie if you weren't a big foosball player?
Well, me and my producing partner, we were just talking about obscure sports and how, you know, they'll put anything on TV these days, and we were joking around and said, I bet you they even have professional foosball. And we Googled it, and sure enough, professional foosball is a real thing, and it's been around, you know, to our surprise, for almost 50 years. In the United States, they used to have a $1 million pro tour in the 70s, and you know, the tour has kind of gone through its ups and downs, but we were really fascinated by the history of it, but also that there's still people who compete professionally today, and they've dedicated their lives to playing this sport that nobody really knows exists.
The thing that's cool is I watched the trailer. I've not yet had a chance to see the movie, but from the trailer, I can tell you I will be watching this movie because it does look absolutely fascinating. And there are some people who remember, you know, quote unquote, the good old days of foosball that are still kind of playing now, aren't they?
Yeah. So one of the guys that we follow in the movie, his name's Todd Wilfredo. He was a big pro back in the 70s. And through all the highs and lows that the sport has gone through, he still is one of the top, you know, 5 competitors today. And he's, you know, he has an undying love for foosball like I've never seen. And it was his passion and the passion of the other people that really, you know, made us interested in their stories and why they love foosball and why they've dedicated their lives to play the sport.
Now, I was watching the trailer for this, and my wife, who does the program with me, she's not in the studio. She doesn't do the interviews for whatever reason, but she's when I was watching the trailer, she said, "Is that for real, or is that like a parody? Is this like a joke, or is it real?" And I said, "No, it's real." But I want to make sure I hear from the horse's mouth from Joe. This is real, right? This really exists?
100%, yeah. And so there is a lot of comedy in the movie, but that's because it's a movie about foosball, and it's got to be fun, you know. The people we got in the movie are truly just fun, charismatic, you know, interesting, colorful people, and we were able to make their personalities shine through. But the truth is pro foosball is a real thing. They play competitively. I believe they even have a pretty big scene in Sioux Falls. So it's a real thing.
That is fantastic. The movie is called Foosballers, and the website, foosballersmovie.com. And if people would like to see this, where can they go to watch the movie Foosballers?
It's on iTunes and Vimeo On Demand, and we have both the links up on our website, or if you just search for it, you'll find it.
And I'm going to do what I can to make it a little easier to find. We'll throw a link to the website because, you know, if you don't know how to spell Foosballers, but it's, again, foosballersmovie.com. But I'll throw a link to that to make it really, really simple. Joe, what's next for you? Are you going to take on, like, table tennis next, or what's the next big film for you?
Oh, man, I don't know. I get that question a lot. I think foosball was the only thing left that you could make a documentary on that nobody had really done. So I don't know. I don't know what's next. Maybe a vacation. I think that's in order.
There you go.
We've been working really hard on the movie, and I think we need a little break.
Well,
but yeah.
A vacation well-deserved, then.
Yeah, exactly. You know, maybe I also write on the show Evans for Family, so hopefully that will come back for another season.
Well, that would be awesome.
We'll see.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us about this. I think, again, the movie looks like a whole lot of fun, and congratulations on the success you're having with it as well. I think that is amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Again, our guest today has been Joe Heslinga. He is the director and the co-writer and the co-producer of a little documentary film called Foosballers. It's available right now, multiple different ways. I'm going to throw a link to their website. It's foosballersmovie.com. If you go there, you can find all of the stuff and follow them on social media if you want and all of that. But I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a lucky shirt? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has several lucky shirts to wear next month for St. Patrick's Day. Or if it's a really lucky shirt, you can wear it every day. Green shirts, 4-leaf clovers, Irish sayings, and more. Don't wait. If you order your lucky shirt right now, it can be here in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more at funkymonkeyshirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Rolls-Royce makes the most expensive car in the world. Currently, the most expensive car in the world is a Rolls-Royce Sweptail.
I
Sold for
love Rolls-Royce.
$13 million. Even if you do have that kind of dough, you won't be able to buy one, though. Only one was ever made. It was custom built from the ground up, according to the buyer's specifications. But brand new custom cars have nothing on used classics. A recent sale of a 1963 Ferrari GTO sold for $70 million is supposedly the highest price ever paid for a car. So, unless something just sold recently.
I doubt we'll ever have one.
Probably not. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, England. A Whitney Houston hologram is going on tour in England starting this week. Ticket prices are the equivalent to about $300 American per ticket. So, would you go see a hologram of Whitney Houston sing? I would, but not for $300 a ticket.
No way. I wouldn't. Even if I was given the tickets, I'd be like, no.
I kind of would like to see this technology. I don't know. I just like to see it and see what it's all about. If people are paying that, I don't know. I just kind of like check it out at least. Like walk in and, hey, it's a hologram, and then walk back out. Something like that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Florida shoplifter tried to get away from a D-Land store, but he stripped naked and steaks tumble out of his pants. Okay. Police found 28-year-old Stefan Short
Why would he
running.
strip naked to try to get away?
I'm not really sure.
That wouldn't help
says
much, you
he
wouldn't
tried
think.
running out of the store in the Buff. When he refused to stop, officers shot him with a taser.
Whoa!
Officers were dispatched to the store, told that he was being pinned to the ground by a manager and a civilian, but that he was fighting them. Witnesses reported to police that there was an attempted getaway. He finally did wriggle out of his clothes. That's why he got out of his clothes.
Okay.
And he had stolen 4 packs of ribeye steaks and about $41.24 worth of stuff. He was charged with resisting an officer without violence, resisting a store employee while committing a theft, and first-degree petty theft. He remained without bail on Monday in jail. So there you go. Right. Sad to hear that he's trying to steal food. You know, there's other ways to get food. You don't steal it. That's a wrong way to do it. But if you're hungry, I guarantee you there's somebody out there that will help you get a meal. Don't steal it. Bad idea. Otherwise, you'll end up right here in today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. A triple dog dare gone wrong. Might seem like it came right out of a movie, but this actually happened in Green Bay about a week ago. A student at a local elementary school got his tongue caught on a metal pole. We all grew up watching A Christmas Story. We actually had a chance to have dinner with the young man who got his tongue stuck to that flagpole, Scott Schwartz. But this was a real-life story here. Kevin Wayrich, they were talking about the 1983 movie, A Christmas Story, when he said, I wonder if that would really happen. And
it does.
It did. 7 o'clock on a Friday morning, sub-zero temperatures. Metal was cold enough, and it flash-freezed his tongue. Right to the pole.
This is why you go to school, kids, so that you learn how things like this work.
And they say that you should not try this at home.
No, and it's extremely painful.
I have a link to the story, and I'm going to have to send it over to Scott because he inspired this one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up just to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Fake news or Florida? A man stripped naked in a shopping mall and made a bunch of whooping sounds to nearby police. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
It is a true story. What? Why would you do that? This makes no sense. I don't know why in the world anybody, some of the stuff that we read on here, I just wonder what in the world people are thinking. And maybe
must be something in the water in Florida, man.
Could be. I have no idea. But this has been Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. And Heidi, guess what?
What?
I think this is good news.
I bet it is good news.
It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I think you're going to like this story, too. Here's the headline. A woman adopts 4 siblings to keep them together.
Aw.
Here's the rest of the story. A woman in Philadelphia has adopted a group of biological siblings in order to keep them together. Bobby Floyd officially adopted 4 siblings last week and plans to adopt the remaining 2, so a total of 6 siblings in all. She says, I realized they were going to separate them, and my whole thing was keeping these kids together because I know how hard it was to keep siblings together. Never realizing that there were 6, just so happened I found siblings with 6 of them, and I kept all of them together. Floyd's husband died in 2014. A few years later, she began fostering 3 of the siblings. She eventually decided to take on a more permanent role with this adoption. 2 of the kids haven't officially been adopted yet, but they are expecting to join the Floyd family in the near future.
That's fantastic.
I think
what
it's
a big
really cool.
heart.
And I got to say, for everybody who's a foster parent or somebody who steps up and adopts children's, hats off to you.
Right.
I think that is absolutely amazing. And we know people who have opened their home to youngsters in need. And we've even talked about that, and it just hadn't worked out for us. But I'm really, really glad for the people who have a place in their home and they're saying, hey, there's always room here. And I know one family, I think they're up to 12 kids now.
That's crazy.
And one of my favorite things was I was there when somebody said, so how many of those kids are yours? And he said, all of them.
Right.
Which was the coolest answer ever. And I already thought the world of this guy. But then after that day, I was like, wow, this guy's like a superhero. Just the coolest thing ever. So I've got a link to this story if you'd like to get more details. And if you'd like information on adopting, I don't know if they have that in the story here, but I guarantee you can find places where you can do this and help out. Like I said, I've got a link to this one in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.